Welcome to the Airfix YouTube channel. In this feature we'll be taking a detailed look at the build process for the Airfix 1/48 scale to Havilland Chipmunk T.10, finished in a particularly vibrant and eye-catching livery. This is a full start to finish guide including preparation, construction, painting and final detailing, ideal for intermediate builders and experienced modelers alike. The build begins with the cockpit. The first parts joined are C15 and C23, a straightforward assembly with a precise fit. These are secured using liquid cement. Liquid cement is preferred here due to its ability to wick into joints via capillary action, ensuring a clean, strong bond without excess glue. Although the instructions suggest fitting the seat cushions immediately, we'll delay that step. The seat belts will be painted separately using a more refined technique, so it's better to keep the cushions off for now to avoid masking complications later. Next, we prepare the cockpit base. Two 1mm holes need to be drilled to accommodate the compass instruments, one on each side. These instruments are finished in grey and precise placement is essential for accuracy. The seat bases are then dry fitted into the cockpit tub. These are positioned to line up with the moulded alignment features and register into place neatly. We're also test fitting the compass housings at this stage to ensure proper fit, although they won't be glued in yet due to their colour and painting requirements. Now we move to the fuselage. Two holes must be drilled on one fuselage half, specific to this version of the Chipmunk. These are for external parts unique to this variant. At this point, the build steps forward slightly to section 10. Two smaller cockpit details finished in black are added to the sidewalls. By installing these now, we'll be able to paint them more effectively as part of the tub assembly. Before committing to paint, a full dry fit of the internal cockpit assembly inside the fuselage halves is performed. Everything aligns well except for one small issue. A pair of moulding pin marks inside the fuselage interfere with the proper seating of the cockpit. These are carefully removed with a scalpel and sanding stick. Without this adjustment, the fuselage halves wouldn't close properly, especially near the bulkhead, leading to potential gaps that will later require filler. Something we want to avoid wherever possible. With everything fitting correctly, the cockpit components are now painted. Black is used as the main base colour, with light weathering added via dry brushed silver to enhance the surface detail. This technique is especially effective for cockpit interiors where lighting and details matter. Seat belts are painted separately and a light grey tone is applied first. Then black wash is carefully flowed into the edges of the belts to define them. This method is more efficient than trying to pick them out afterward and preserves the raised detail beautifully. The fuselage halves are glued together using extra thin cement. It's applied incrementally along the seams, with care taken to align the parts precisely before moving along the join. Patience here reduces the need for seam cleanup later and preserves surface detail. We're using a slower setting glue, which gives more working time and allows for minor adjustments before the part sets fully. Once bonded and dried, the seams are lightly sanded, then re-scribed where necessary to restore any panel lines lost during the process. At this point, the instructions call for the engine bulkhead and engine to be installed. However, we'll defer the engine assembly for later. Instead, the firewall is fitted into position and the engine cowling is dry fitted using wood glue. This allows for a temporary fit that can be removed easily after painting. The lower wing is then attached to the fuselage, followed by the upper wing sections. The wing assembly begins with the lower wing spar and navigation light insert. Chrome is applied to the back of the light housing to improve reflectivity. Tailplane components are assembled and glued in place. The rudder and elevators being painted separately are left off for now to facilitate easier masking and cleaner finish lines. At this point, the instructions call for the engine bulkhead and engine to be installed. However, we'll defer the engine assembly for later. Instead, the firewall is fitted into position and the engine cowling is dry fitted using wood glue. This allows for a temporary fit that can be removed easily after painting. All major components are now primed. Grey primer is applied to unify the surface and check for imperfections. Once dried, minor blemishes are addressed and a final smooth sanding is performed to prepare for painting. A full gloss white base coat is applied next. This not only ensures even coverage, but also serves as an ideal undercoat for the bright red top colour. This red will appear much more vibrant over white than over grey or black. With the gloss white cured, masking is applied to delineate the red areas. A custom mixed grey is applied to the underside, lighter than many off-the-shelf options, as darker grey tends to appear overly heavy once dry. Red is then sprayed using lacquer-based paint for better coverage and durability. After drying, masking is removed, revealing clean, sharp transitions. Minor overspray is touched up with a fine brush or light sanding. The propeller assembly, built earlier, is painted black and fitted with striped decals on each blade. The extensive decal set is applied next, beginning with the cockpit instruments and followed by fuselage and wing markings. Decal setting solution is used generously to help the decals conform to recessed panel lines and rivets. Once the decals are set and dried, a full coat of gloss lacquer is applied to seal them and provide a smooth surface for further weathering if desired. This model now has the distinctive high gloss finish seen on the real restored Chipmunk. The engine is now built separately and consists of a minimal number of parts: 2 main halves, a propeller spindle, exhaust and side frames. The core is painted dark grey, while the support frames are detailed in interior green. Painting is done prior to final assembly to ensure clean edges and better access to recessed areas. Once completed, the engine is mounted inside the fuselage. With that, the build of the Airfix de Havilland Chipmunk T.10 is complete. It's a rewarding and well-designed kit with excellent fit and engineering. The striking livery makes it stand out on the shelf, and the high gloss finish accurately represents the real aircraft's restored condition. If you enjoyed this build, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel for more projects. We'd love to hear what kits or techniques you'd like to see next, so please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, be sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for some detailed stills of the completed model.